Has God ever told you to do something and you didn't do it? That happened to me and it didn't turn out well. But I want to talk to you about a man in the Bible who absolutely refused to do what God told him. This is your morning cup of inspiration. The man's name was Jonah. In Jonah chapter 1, it said that God called him to go to Nineveh to preach against their wickedness and to call them to repentance. But he didn't do it. In the first chapter, it says he went down to Joppa to catch a ship to Tarshish. Well, he was on this ship, and God caused a great storm to arise. And the ship was being thrown around the sea, and all the sailors on that ship said to each other, "Who is causing this storm? Who is the reason why we are going through this?" And they actually feared for their lives. Well, they went down and they woke up Jonah, and he confessed he was the man. And he said, "You need to throw me overboard and then you'll all be spared." They didn't want to do it. They tried to row their way out of it, but they realized they were all going to die. So they threw Jonah overboard into the seas. And what happened? It says that God had prepared a great fish to swallow up Jonah. And he was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights. And then he started coming to his senses. In chapter 2, verse 4, he says, I am cast out of thy sight, yet I will look again toward thy holy temple. And in verse 6, it says, I went down to the bottoms of the mountains, the earth with her bars was about me forever. Yet hast thou brought up my life from corruption, O Lord my God. And then in verse 9, he said, I'm going to sacrifice to God, I'm going to ask for forgiveness, and the Lord caused the fish to vomit him up onto dry land. You see, if you don't follow God, you could have a fish vomit on you. You could end up in the belly of a fish. You could end up in just a terrible place in your life that you can't get out of. There's no place to run from God. He sees us and he knows everything. So when God tells you to do something, when he gives you that nudge, go ahead and do it. And I'll leave you with this verse, which is found in Mark chapter 8, verse 36. It says, for what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? So many people are going their own way to make money, to be successful, and yet they're losing their soul because money has become their idol. Don't let that happen to you. When God tells you to do something, do it. I hope that inspires you, and I'll talk to you soon for another Morning Cup of Inspiration.